This is Greg Pembroke of Greg's Mind. For this post, I will be talking about three separate realities I have lived within, um, and how I left them. Leaving them is easy, but the whole point about how you live in a different reality is you are vibrationally matched to that reality, and you continue living the same life in that reality. Like even though you die, you live as the same person, but slightly better in each incarnation of yourself in that same reality. Now so we'll start with the simple reality that I lived within. The difference from this reality is some of the physics were a bit odd. For whatever reason, I chose to live in a reality which was more like slapstick, like a cartoon or something. Everything was physical, like we all, everything was the same, but the reactions that we end up having ended up being more comical. But I mean, within the reality, we didn't see it as comical, but outside of the reality, like when I saw it within the visions that my mind's eye would give me, what would happen, like I I I thought I was being like I don't know the word, like joked with when I first saw a few of these, because I thought they, like, my guides or whatever, weren't being like serious with it, but it slowly like sunk into me, like I lived within a reality that was like this. So the example I have is when I was younger, I was driving in this reality, in the reality we're in right now. I was driving through, um, well, I was trying to get a car through the woods, and I thought the path was big enough, and it wasn't. So in this reality, the car just got stuck. Nothing happened. But in the reality, that was slapstick because everything follows a pattern. So there was a pattern that I drove into these woods that was I thought was right enough. And I mean I saw where that pattern come from because I ask questions, and then within my dreams, within the visions, I get the answers. So what happened in the slapstick reality of this same instance is the car basically like jerked forward and like kind of like flipped and then landed back on the ground. But that's just one example. Another example was for whatever reason, the window on my car broke while I was driving. Um, in that reality, I don't have a direct relation in this reality, at least not yet. But in that reality, somehow like got sucked out the window, and I was like flaring about before like I got out the window. And this is just one reality. And that is where I was vibrationally matched for. But I mean, part of it is also you need to consciously think that you want to be in that kind of reality. So at some point in a past incarnation of mine, I thought I want to be in a kind of slapstick reality where everything's funny. It's not really that funny because well, I don't know how that reality reacts to this because they see it as normal. But anyway, that's the false reality. The next reality I want to mention is living in a reality with dinosaurs. And they are a menace. They attack everything, and it's just like the movie. They attack everything and try to kill everything. At least the carnivores do. And I mean, in that reality, everyone has electric fences around their property. Everyone. Um, so like one of the dinosaurs I've seen, which like the dinosaurs that we depict are nothing like the ones that I've actually seen, but they're like they are the same dinosaur, but it's just they look different. So like I know in Jurassic World uh 3, the third one, they have a Quetzalcoatl, I think it's called, attacking a plane. And so I've actually seen a Quetzalcoatl in my dream, in the reality. Dreams are reality. Like you are visiting a past reality or something. But they are real. Like the people there are like you and me, but whatever. So Quetzalcoatlus are basically like giant pelicans. And in the particular uh, memory that I have of seeing the Quetzalcoatl, I was supposed to go outside and check some cameras for my dad, and I was looking out the back patio, which is the same patio that I like lived in growing up. Like I said, patterns. Like you live in the same place every lifetime, but it gets slightly better based on your vibration. So in the Quetzalcoatl, like when I saw the Quetzalcoatl, it like there were deer in the yard, and this bird, this Quetzalcoatl, came down, picked one up in its beak, and started like walking around with it in its beak. It had like a big sack like the pelicans have, whatever that's called. And then something spooked it. It dropped the deer, and the deer pranced off. And then I'm not going out there yet because I don't want to deal with that. So I mean, like the electric fences would keep out the carnivores, but they want to keep out the birds that came out of the sky. And then I know I saw compies recently. So like from Jurassic Park 2, the compies attacked the little girl or whatever. I saw those recently. They look completely different than what they do in the movie. And the thing is, like, before I see any of these things, like, I need to, like, I am directed to watch particular things so that I get the, like, correct assumption, like, and I get the correct idea of what something looks like. Now, I don't know, like, these questions I ask, I don't know when I'm going to get the answer to them, or how many questions I need to ask to get the particular dream that will share with me what I want to see. And so now, okay, and I need to go back to the previous one and bring up like why, like wishing. I wished to leave that reality because of a nightmare, and I flipped out of bed. Like I somersaulted out of bed because, again, slapstick, everything is comical, and I didn't find that the nightmare funny. So I like wished, and then once I'm a vibrational match to that wish, then it happens. So I continue living in that reality, those physics, until I became a vibrational match. And how you become a vibrational match is by continually improving yourself and who you are, and like looking over parts of you that you want to change. So that brings me to now, why did I wish to leave the dinosaur reality? Well, in a sense, the dinosaur reality is a sort of like hell almost, because everything is constantly trying to attack you. Um, it's like Australia, but on steroids and all over the world. Um, but why I wish to leave that reality is I was actually eaten by two raptors, and that's not fun. The thing is, for that dream, I was at school, my normal high school. We were all getting on bus. An alarm sounded, like we were all like somewhat in a panic. and these two raptors, one came from behind, one came from in front. One raptor like chomped down on me, and then I tried to punch the other raptor, and he got my arm, and then I woke up. So I mean, and in these dreams, I'm like feeling all of this. So like I know what it feels like. It's not pleasant to be eaten, but that's the thing. So I'm basing that my wish to like be out of that reality is based on being eaten by two raptors after school one day. So this brings me on to the third reality, which is the magic reality. So like Harry Potter, wizards and whatnot, it's like again, they see that as normal. They don't see themselves as special. They are all just like we have magic, so we can use it. And I know a lot about myself in that reality. In that reality, I like my whole goal was to be very like basically a priest or some religious folk. And like I was not a nice person in that reality. And going off that, like we like my family lived in like the ghetto of the wizarding world or the magic there. And what made me wish to leave that reality is like you wonder why some people like do drinking and like they get into bad habits to forget stuff. Now you don't necessarily remember past life events. I do, and and because I asked to remember what happened in these past lives because I know they're real. Like I know all these things are real. Like I should have brought this up at the beginning of the video, but I didn't. But to me, everything is possible. We live in infinity, and everything is possible. So, like, I'm in existential crisis mode almost every day because of like new revelations for every day about like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened. But whatever. So, what made me leave the wish to leave the magical reality once my vibration got high enough is so in Harry Potter there's the Avocadabra spell, which instantly offs someone. Um, in what I witness, it ma- like magic doing that to a body is not natural, and like it's just like I'm still trying to wrap my head around what I saw, and this was like just a night ago. But what happened was someone I know in this reality as well, which I'll get to the side effects of what happened, is we were hiding out in the house. We were trying to be quiet. We were scared kind of what was going on outside. I'm not sure what was going on outside, but what ended up happening is I was talking to my friend, this person, and they ended up getting a machete straight through them and popping off the head. Not like I was in front of this person when this happened. Now the thing is, I was able to get the machete because it somehow appeared and somehow went through the floor. I was able to pull the machete. I attempted to catch the person's head because the head fell off. But we ran into this side room which our parents were in, and um, the person went to my mom and got a hug or whatever, but they were headless, like they were a headless body moving over, and like I think I went back out to retrieve the head at a later point, but even though magic can heal that, quote unquote, but that still traumatizes the soul. And so in this lifetime, I know that same person, but they have all sort of bodily issues with their body, and that's basically because in the past reality they got a machete through them, and it's like they see it as like a natural disease in this reality, but in that like injuries and uh, traumas that happen to you in past realities are going to carry over and be physical in some way, shape, or form in this reality and show that to you. But you don't know that because most people think we just live in this reality. We live just one life. We live here. But that isn't the case. And like I'm directly telling you, that's not the case. And like no amount of like scientific crap that you shoot at me will deter me from what I know to be factual to myself. And like all this that I've just explained in the uh, video is what will be going into all the books I write. So in all the books I write, like all this information will be there in some way, shape, or form, and hopefully that gets more mainstream to the people who read it, and they're like, oh, this makes a lot more sense than whatever religious mumbo jumbo we're listening to or subscribe to or whatever. It's, I don't know. But that is the video. That's all I kind of wanted to say. It's a long one, but very substantial, and hopefully people find it useful. Um, I may do more of these videos. I don't know. Right now it was kind of a spur on the moment because just so many different things just kind of want me to do something on YouTube. Want like, well, more or less, I need an outlet. So this is kind of my outlet. I'm gonna tell you about the weird crap that I've lived through, and I mean, you wonder why people drink and like get into drugs and all that fun. Well, not fun, but all that stuff. It's because they don't consciously remember these things, but their soul remembers these things, and so their soul is kind of like blacking out and wanting to forget that until the person is at a vibrational match that they are ready to like learn of these traumatic things that have happened to them and of the traumatic things that you have done to other people. Like I've only thought about what other things have done to me. I haven't even mentioned some of the stuff I've done to other people within these dreams. But it's insane. So, but it insane in a good way because to me it's all factual. To me it's all what my soul has gone through. So that is it. Have a good day, good night whenever you're watching. Subscribe, do whatever you want, and see you later, possibly.